This is Character Asked It. You already know Character did it. I'm here with Scott Morris, a man of many hats, bro. Tell us about yourself. What do you do?
What's up, guys? This is Scott Morris, artist, entrepreneur, music exec, promoter, tour promoter, booking agent, the plug. You know what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
saying? I got a lot of different things that I can connect and provide people to. I just really big on networking, really big on just connecting. I love the music business the more that I learn, and I just love people.
Hell yeah, man. Where are you from?
Brooklyn, New York. What's
Brooklyn, New
up?
York, man. You're the second Brooklyn
Hey,
dude I've interviewed in 2 days.
word. So who's the first other one?
The other one was Senko Corleone, man. He's an up and coming artist, and he's on some shit for real. Like his dad was a manager for some big old names, like back in the day. Like he knew
Okay.
Biggie, he knew Pun, he knew, uh, damn, I can't think of his name. Some dude from Six. Like it's crazy, bro. Like he's Brooklyn on the way up. New York, it's always been a significant place in the music industry, especially the rap world. But I think there's a resurgence of Jersey and New York people coming up right now. That's a whole new wave.
Yeah, yeah.
Are
I
you?
think right now I think we got a lot of life right now. And I think as the community continues to like strengthen the support and us just pushing forward and just striving for greatness, I think we'll be all right. I like what it is. Like, a lot of people have their opinions on drill and stuff, but I just think it's good for the culture. Any type of New York music that's coming out, whether it's neo soul, R&B, drill, whatever you want to be, man. As long as you're passionate, you're not getting in trouble. Like, who cares? Just do what you got to do.
Keep your nose clean. You be all right.
Yeah,
So how old are you, bro?
30.
30. All right, man. I'm 35, bro. Man, the 30s. Your 30s, in my opinion, is like the best time in your life, man, because you got all the energy you had in your 20s, but you're not as dumb as you were when you were 20.
Yeah. So the thing about like being 30 is like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like building and connect, you know what I'm saying? Like being in your 30s. So it's just like doing what you need to be. Like in your 20s, it's like you don't fully understand like the music business or things the way that you would like to, right? You just growing and expanding and figuring things out, right? So like when I was in my 20s, I thought I'd be rich by now. I thought I'd have a big house. I thought I'd be the most successful person. I thought I'd be throwing the biggest parties. And I don't regret it because if I didn't go through the things that I wanted to go through, I wouldn't make it happen. But now that I'm in my 30s, it's just, let's do it right.
So
You know
tell
what
me
I'm
how
saying?
you ended up on these hustles you're on right now.
Just like connecting, man. Like I always had a love for music, like I always liked the Lil Waynes, the Jay-Z's and all of those. Like going in high school, people always had their choices of who was their favorite artist and just striving to be like those people, seeing the impact that they have on the music business made you desire to have that same, success. And then just going through everything I went through was just like, let's do it. And then now, like just looking at other artists, like you see Benny Butcher, he was like 30 and change when he made it. The Rick Ross was 30 and change when he made it. The 2 Chainz was 30 and change when he made it. It's like there's no reason to be ashamed of whatever your age is. Like in your 30s or your 40s, whatever it is, who cares? It's just you may not get the same deal as somebody else, but you might get a better situation because you have more experience. It's just about allowing God to work the way that He needs to work in your life.
That's beautiful, man. So when you okay, let's go back. Tell me about your upbringing a little bit.
Um, like my parents always had like a good model of the way that things need to be done. My pops was always big on treating people with respect and treating people how you want to be treated. My mother was always a caring, respectful, and loving individual. So it was just like until I got older, I didn't really understand the sacrifices they made. Like, being able to pay your bills on time, raise your kids, pay for your kids to have the things that they need and still be able to have a relationship. So just seeing those things now and understanding as I get older, like these are things that you just don't understand right away until you have to be in these positions to take lead and still maintain a life. So it was just like I ain't had no issue with my upbringing. I just appreciate it more that I'm older and I understand. But I had two good examples of people that I admire.
Man, that's everything. That's everything, for real.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do after high school?
I went to John Jay College. So John Jay, I was just always active, you know. I went to class and then I didn't go to class. I didn't realize that I was building a network from just skipping class, going to Brooklyn College for the parties, going to college, meeting the people, flirting with the girls, being cool with the people that do events, joining a lot of clubs. I didn't realize that I was building a network. I was just being myself. You know, now I look at it later, you know, I got a support system. I got this person that connects me with this individual. I didn't know I was building a network. I was just being myself.
Respect to that, man. What were you studying?
I was studying like psychology.
Okay.
You know, it was cool. I didn't really utilize it the way that I should have. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm more, how do I use these things to understand business better and understand, like, the more you learn, the better you become as a writer. And the more that you learn, the better you are able to hold conversations. So you don't know these things at the time. You're just having a good time. And if the teacher is boring, you don't want to go. Or if the class is too early, it's like, damn. Like, I don't know why I did that to myself. Like, I knew I didn't know how to get up early. Not like I didn't have the ability to. I just really just wasn't that good at it. And it's because I didn't want to be good at it. I would book a 7 a.m. class knowing that I ain't going to get there at 7 a.m.
Ever.
You know? And my teacher was just boring. So we're just like, what are we doing? So I tried to find, how do I connect psychology to music, and try to find different ways, but just nothing really stuck. So it just made me understand that I just need to focus on what I love and figure this out. It's not going to be an easy road, but I got to figure it out. But, well, that's what I was doing.
That's super interesting. Honestly, that's a crazy cool perspective. Because psychology is a degree that, you know, like you said, you know, you could have used it in other ways, and you could be this role, you could have this job, and this job be making this kind of money. But what you did was you took that knowledge that you learned from studying psychology and you used it to benefit your actual life, the things that you were doing. And now when you meet people and you're networking, you understand them better than most people do.
At this age, yeah. Prior, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like when you just like maneuvering without experience, like just floating. Once you start failing, losing, experience trials and tribulations, what impacts certain decisions you make affect people and how, then you start understanding how to manage and maintain relationships. But it doesn't happen overnight. So I didn't realize what I was doing or how I was doing. I do now that I'm older, but prior I didn't know.
Okay. No, that makes sense, bro. So through your 20s, how did you get to where you're at right now? Like, there had to be a whole process. Did you graduate college?
Nah. No? I don't regret it. You know what I'm saying? I think for anybody who's able to graduate, like, that's a big deal, because it takes a lot of focus and dedication, you know? Because it's deeper just having to pay for the scholarship. I mean, it's deeper than having to pay for your tuition fee. Like, you got to really have a focus to complete your assignments. You got to really have a level of commitment to show up to class. Because they ain't going to tell you to show up. If you don't show up, you just don't show up. They don't care. They're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So it just teaches you really about life and business without realizing that this is how the world works.
Yeah.
You're getting a real life lesson when you get college. But in regards to like college, it was just like, you know, I didn't finish, but it helped me to move forward with stuff. Because in my 20s, it was just like, to get here, I had to do events, like, and I had to learn how to produce events, and I had to learn my influence. So one of my mentors was Marlon Daniels. Marlon Daniels was head of community, I think it's activities, or I know he was one of the liaisons for the people he had to talk to get events approved.
Okay.
He saw something in me that I see in myself. I always was popular on campus, but I didn't know that popularity comes with a level of responsibility, because popularity creates influence. So he made me host an event. He helped me understand more about the things that I was doing. Then eventually I took it I wanted to go on tour. Nobody was booking me. I wanted to be a rapper and be like the people I like. I wanted to know how I go on a college tour. Cause that's what Wiz Khalifa was going on tour. And Wiz Khalifa, like I didn't really know who he was. It was just like, well, he already did tours by the time I got introduced to him. But when I was introduced to the story of how he made it, it was like, oh, word, he did it, then I could do it, I could figure this out. And I tried it with no money. I had no clue what I was doing. I just put an audition together before I had any dates. Lucky for me, all my friends was popular in their campuses, so that's God, because that's timing. Because it's just so I come up with a college tour idea, don't know what the hell I'm doing, and then all my friends happen to just randomly know who to talk to at popular in their school. And these are the people that I done met from skipping school, skipping class, walking the halls, chilling, hanging out, playing sports with. I got suspended from school for the stupid things, let me through the back door. I don't recommend anybody to do this. But this is like relationships, And then I ended up getting an internship one time at Extreme 104 FM. Sinclair and Can those are two people that supported my life. They helped me understand a lot of the technicalities of the business that now that I understand more. And then Donna gave me my first shot, like with radio. So I got to see how to do interviews and understand how interviews work by interviewing people. And just some of the people I interviewed, I got to get some game from. Because, when you do interviews, you learn it from people, even though you ask them. And the better the conversation, the better your questions. Because it might spark interest, like, damn, I want to learn that, So doing those things and getting practice in different areas helped create me, Because if I didn't do the events and learn from the events or fail on the events, I wouldn't know how to do tours. If I didn't work at a radio station, I wouldn't know how interviews work or how to host a conversation when you're doing interviews. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you want to interview the whole for a good amount of time, the interviewer can do as much as they can. If you're boring, you're just boring, bro. Nothing we can do. You know what I'm saying? It ain't their fault. It's they talking to you. Talk. And you ain't got to force it. The people will feel it's real. But I learned that through interviewing. Then when I did hosting, I learned I don't like to host, but I could do it. But I learned that is a skill from having to host my own events. Then I learned the importance of the DJs and their jobs and your team and all those results and the people. So my 20s just shaped me from experience and trial and error, just doing everything I need to now we here. We do the tours, we do the festival, we travel, we do the shows. We ready to drop some music. We ready to do label. We be excited. We ready to compete. We ready to change lives. We gonna ham. Hey,
Facts, man. Facts. And respect to that. And it's funny because like this is the first time that everybody always says it's all about who you know, and that's true. But it's not just who you know, it's what relationship have you established with those people.
Yeah, I agree. So that's a big part of that. It still falls into who you know. But when it comes to relationships, these are things like you can't force. Like whether people like to admit it or not, like you gotta invest in your relationships. There's different ways to invest in relationships, but you got, whether it's financial or it's just like organic. And organic sometimes go into the bar after the show, somebody a drink or just checking on them. You okay? You alive? Even if they don't respond the way that you respond. Never know. One day you might get lucky that you that air that they need. So it's just different ways to go about it, Both are effective. It's just about what you want to do. And people watch you level up. They do. Like, if they don't reach out to you today, if they need you for a service or they need your resources or need you a part of something, they're going to set you up.
Absolutely, man. And people that you don't know are watching you. So you just got to stay on top of your game. That's, it doesn't matter the progress you've made. If you're on a social media hustle, don't worry about the numbers. Just stay doing what you know is going to work and stay consistent, because people will start watching you and you don't know they're watching you until they hit you up.
That's a fact.
What have been your biggest accomplishments thus far in your career?
Being able to give away $25,000 independently.
Ooh, tell me about that.
So we started Day Summit because I went to Texas for South by South, right? I got to see what South by South was doing in the way that they were bringing Austin, Texas, and Texas together. I thought it was dope. I didn't understand why we had it in New York City, but now that I'm older, I understand why we did it. It's a lot of technical things that go into it, and a lot of relationships, a lot of support that you got to have, a lot of keeping your word, a lot of favors. It's a lot you got to do year round in order for you to be able to get things done on a festival or week-long festival event. So I understand my responsibility more than ever, and I'm grateful and I'm blessed. I understand that, So doing Day Summit for years, learning how to run a festival South by South format, learning staffing, learning how to finance it, learning how much it costs, learning you may not get your return right away. You have to be okay with that. Learning how to talk to venues and negotiate prices, talk to influencers, all of that stuff. Like, that's my biggest accomplishment. And then the biggest of it all is like, we didn't have any major donations for me to give away $25,000. I had to throw the events for like 6 years to be able to give. And having the artists, like the artists selling the tickets and the artists paying for the slots if they didn't sell the tickets, and believing in the vision, we was able to do that. Ain't no sponsor come behind it. So eventually it's gonna go corporate, which is the goal, because we want the world to know it. But being able to do it like while it's in the mud is the biggest accomplishment, because we learned how to do it. And then recently we just did our festival in Dallas. We never did Day Summit in anywhere outside of New York City. And now we first stopped for the festival was Dallas, and it hit. We had Rock Nation there, we had Atlantic Records there, we had QC there, we had all of the reps there, you know what I'm saying? People came out, you know what I'm saying? I got the public here now, so I got a brand new label. The art, like, I ain't got no sales history yet, but people see what I'm doing and they came out for me. So to see my influence like over time, and me just people believing and seeing that I didn't quit. My boy just launched his label, who I sit on his board for, and his stage was packed. So it's like you got two brand new companies being in the marketing with the big ones, and to see that every day people came out just for the opportunity, that was incredible. So that was a big accomplishment, because I'm not from Dallas. I just took the festival to Dallas, but I'm not from Dallas. So that was cool, just to see the city of Dallas like partner and collaborate. Shout out to Dallas Global, you know what I'm saying? And just really like support it and not feel like I'm trying to take their position, because that's not what I'm here to do with anybody. I'm here to collaborate and work with people, and just wherever I can add to the history, I'm here to do it. And it was just cool. So
That's huge, bro. That's huge. Your first out of state show, and you got Rock Nation and QC. I mean, there's no two bigger names in the world right now for the music industry. That's a flex, and that's an incredible feat, for real.
Like I said, that's all God, bro, because anything could have happened. There was really no issues all week. Everything went right. Usually I think everything gonna go wrong. That's how I prepare my mind. My pops always told me that you gotta think that in order for you to properly run something or do something or work within life, you gotta feel like everything is gonna go wrong. You gotta plan like go wrong. So after doing events for years, I think everything's gonna go wrong. But this was the first time that everything went right. I was really prepared.
Expect the best and prepare for the worst, bro.
Hey man, but this is the first time.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
I said I ain't mad at that, but first time everything went really nothing went wrong. Like, I'm cool.
I feel you, bro, but that's a result of all the experiences you were talking about before. You've been training for this your entire life, and you didn't even realize it, I think.
That's a fact.
What have been your biggest obstacles that you've had to overcome?
Putting up the bread. That is expensive, man. That is all the biggest obstacle. Where we go get this money from? Because it is independent. Like, these things ain't cheap. It ain't $100 when we do this thing. You talking about thousands, not $1,000. You talking about thousands. Between, you want to do a festival where you booking events and stuff, you looking to spend between $10,000 to $100,000, depending on how much events you gonna do or the magnitude. Where we getting this bread? It be God. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I don't be knowing where I get this bread from. Thank you to all the people that trust me. Thank you for all the people that believe in me. Thank you for all the people that allow me to work. Thank you for all the people that if I say I'm gonna bring out Rock Nation, they trust it and they just let me work. Thank you, y'all. That's why I go so hard for y'all. Cause realistically, God be knowing. I don't be knowing where this gonna happen. I just be putting it out in the world. We doing A. And the universe respond, let's give him A. And then the people go, let's go with it. So I do not take it for granted. Cause that's always the biggest obstacle. Where we getting the bread from?
But that goes back to those contacts that you have, the networking you've done, and like we said, it's not just the people you know, it's the relationship you've built with them. It's the reputation you've built for yourself. Everyone you know knows you're not you're not a fake one. You know, you're a real one, bro. You out there doing it.
Could never.
What does success in life and in music and everything you're doing with music look like to you?
Success in my 20s was getting that big old mansion, driving a nice car, having the baddest girl in the world at my disposal. That was it. Now that I'm older, success is just peace and happiness, man. I want to make sure, like, I'm a good father, I'm a good husband, I am someone that people admire and, you know, they respect. Like, I may not be the best role model. Like, don't look at me as a role model. You know what I'm saying? But what you could do is look at me as someone who understood, like, even if I fail, I'm gonna get back up again. If I could do it, I want you to do it better than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let that inspire you to go bigger. So success for me is just, if I know that I inspired 5 people today to go bigger than me, or to actually take their career serious, or take that business that they was thinking about, like, you know, opening up a tea shop, because they see me not quitting, they gonna do it, then I did what I was supposed to do. I'm good. Like, I'm good, man. I ain't tripping no more.
There's no competition anymore, man. There's enough out here for everybody. So if you can inspire somebody to get on a hustle, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, like, for me, being the best is being the best you. That's how I look at it, man. Nobody better than being me than me. So I'm good. I'm straight. I'm comfortable. Just being able to pay your bills on time, all of that stuff. Once you start realizing what matters, family and all of that stuff, over time, you good. You reshape how you think. And then you just have positivity in the world. You attract positivity, man.
Facts, man. You know, I had a conversation with a guy the other day, and we were talking about how once you understand life and the true way that it goes, and you stop worrying about every little thing, the little things work themselves out because you know it's gonna work out.
As a fact, man, you know that at the first of the month, if you live in an apartment, they gonna charge you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you got a phone bill, you know that they not playing with you. So it is what it is. Just handle your business. Once you understand that life is always gonna be life, you're gonna be all right.
Life is always gonna be life, and I like that.
Yeah, like, nothing we can do about it.
If you could go back and tell your teenage self anything, what would it be?
Don't change nothing you did. Be you. Because that's the reason why I got the plugs. It's because of all the dumb stuff you did. Keep being you.
Hell yeah, and you'll find your way later, man. You'll stop doing that dumb shit.
But figure it out. I understand you want to be a rapper. Do exactly what you doing right now. What if you're supposed to be a rapper, it's gonna happen at the time it need to happen. But you gonna be an exec. That's a rapper. And you better go keep that. So that's right. Look, go cut that class. But study as well. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to wait on a teacher for you to gain the knowledge you need. Read those books. It's cool. It's cool to read those books. You know what them rappers doing? Like Wu-Tang and all of them? They read it.
Oh, no doubt.
Spit. Like, they ain't dumb. They spitting bars because they investing in knowledge. It is cool to be smart.
Absolutely, man. That was Wu-Tang's whole approach. Was my words are my sword. I will kill you with my words. Like, people hear Wu-Tang and hear violence. It was never violence for Wu-Tang. It was, I am this person. I can communicate this way, and I will cut you down with those words.
It's a fact.
If you could give any young artist advice, and I know you just kind of said what you would tell young people, but any young artist that's coming up right now, and you know, there's so many different approaches to this industry that people are throwing in their face. Oh, you do this way, you do this. What advice would you have for young artists?
It's okay to make mistakes. Just get back up. Because at the end of the day, they got to go through it for them to learn. A million people is going to tell them the right thing to do. But if they don't try it themselves, how they going to know what works for them? If Carl tell you, you need to jump over the fence, and you don't want to jump over the fence because that's not your style, then it ain't work. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're supposed to walk through the door instead of hop over the fence. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Because you're afraid to take that risk because you ain't going to land on your feet. So maybe you got to go through the door. That's the safer bet. You do that. Try everything. Whatever don't work, it don't work. At least you try. Once you figure out the things that try, keep it. Keep doing that. Working for a reason.
Preach that, man. Preach that, bro. Do you have anything coming up? Any events? Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, we got a tour that we going up. So we about to hit all 50 states because we got to put our imprint in every city. We starting the label up. So if you want to work with us in different ways, marketing, shows, whatever, you're going to meet me. I will be in your city. I'm outside.
Hell yeah, bro. That's amazing. A 50-state tour.
Got to, because the thing is, it's like, if we don't do it, who else will?
How long did that take to set up?
Nah, we still in the planning of it, but it's just more in the sense of you got to put it in the universe for you to receive it. You know, like we going to Utah because there's people that want to, like in Utah, there's rappers, and then there's people who want to believe in new rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we here. Maybe you want to believe in Sky's story. Maybe you don't care nothing about Sky's music, but you care about the story. Maybe you want to work with Sky because you believe in Sky's hustle. Maybe you want to leave Utah and you want to perform in Arkansas, but you don't know who to trust. You trust me. I'm here. I'm outside. So we shaking the hands. We shaking the hands and we ready to do the work.
Hell yeah, man. Is there anything else that I didn't know to ask you about? Like, you're on so many different hustles. You know so many people. Is there anything that
you good. You asked everything you need to ask.
Well, you know, that's what I'm saying is like, that's why I asked this question is because, you know, I know a little bit about you and I can ask somebody about their background, but then there's like, you know a lot of people, you know a lot of artists, you're connected with a lot of people. Is there any crazy story that you have that you would like to share?
Like, I ain't got a crazy story. It's like I got like real life stuff. You know, sometimes the car might break down. Sometimes we slept in the car, yo. Like, we real people just like y'all. We real people just like you guys. We hustle every single day. We do everything that we need to do. Put in the work. We just don't quit. That's the only reason why we further. It's because we don't quit. There's no secret science to it. It ain't no like, nah, man, what's wrong with the music or business, whatever you want to do, they all the same. Just don't quit. I'm no better than nobody doing any type of business thing. I'm just not into quitting. You know how much times I cry? You know how much times I say I want to quit? I want to leave this alone. Oh my God, I ain't making no bread. Part of the game. I just don't quit. I get back up.
Every day.
That's it.
Every day.
I'm a hustler. That's it. Other than that, I'm cool to chill with. Just in case you ain't know, y'all. I like to laugh. I like to do some jokes. I like to run. I'm not as fast as I used to be, so I'm getting back in the gym. But other than that, we outside. You know what I'm saying? We outside. We outside. And the bigger we get, we always gonna show the love. We always gonna be in a community. We always gonna do the things that we supposed to do because this is who we are. We was like this before we had any progress. I was thinking about when I was like younger, I was thinking about how can I help my community and give back and do stuff for I was thinking about how can I throw like charity things before I had any opportunity to do any charity stuff. This is just who we are. We just living our dream in real life and putting in work and we let God lead and that's it.
Preach that, bro. Preach that, man. Before we end this, I gotta ask, have you heard about Muse IQ at all?
Nope, but I'm here to learn.
All right, man.
I know a platform.
It's a new streaming platform, music streaming
Okay.
platform, and it is not paid per stream. The way it works is it's always free for artists to upload. For users, they get a 30-day trial, and after that, they get 3 different subscription choices. There's silver, gold, and platinum. The silver gets you 1 validation, gold gets you 5, platinum gets you 20. A validation is equal to $1 that you can assign to any artist on the app that you want to go from your payment into their pocket every month.
That's hard. That's dope.
There's commenting and messaging available. Users can friend request each other and connect, and then you can comment to and message artists, and artists can comment and message users. Along with that, in 6 months, they're going to start a charts system to where it's based off of a Tinder-based like system, where if you like a song, you swipe up on it. If you don't, you swipe down. The songs with the most likes, the artists with the most likes, they're going to win charts. They're going to top charts, and that's going to be extra cash payouts every 6 months.
Word. I like the business. Who I got to talk to? We need to
I'll connect you with them. We Are Muse IQ, literally at We Are Muse IQ. Those are the developers. I'm working with them, bro. Like we ain't playing, bro. Like it's some real shit, and we're trying to, if we can get, when we get enough people's ears. We have enough significant people's ears right now that I fully, wholeheartedly believe in the success of this app. But, people like you who know all the people that you do, you would be a huge asset to just talk to people about it. And I would love to connect you with everybody that's involved in it right now. We have a whole team, but let's go, bro. Like this will change everything.
Let's talk. Let's figure out how we support each other. I'm open to it. I'm going to all 50 states. So what's up?
All right, bet. Yeah, we'll set up a meeting real soon with them. Man, I really appreciate your time. I appreciate everything that you shared. The advice that you gave will be, priceless to the artists out there, to everyone, not just artists, just people, because you're saying focus on what you're supposed to do. Focus on what you're driven to do. And that's a beautiful message.
Thanks to you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for your time. This is Scott Morris on Karikter. I appreciate everybody. I'll see y'all next time. Peace up.